She failed her EMT exam because she couldn't save one life. Now she's got 3 dying in her car, assassins on her trail, and no idea why a $100 tip just destroyed her entire world. The $100 tip was supposed to save her life. Instead, it almost ended it. If you're watching this right now, you're part of something special. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what happens next, because Zara's story is just getting started, and trust me, you'll want to be here for every second. Zara Williams had been delivering food for 12 hours straight. Phone at 8%. Stomach empty. Eviction notice on her door. When that notification came through, luxury sushi, $100 tip, West End Industrial Park, she didn't ask questions. She just drove. She was an EMT dropout. 18 months of training, 1 frozen moment, 1 failed exam. Mrs. Patterson, cardiac arrest, Kroger parking lot. Zara's hands had hovered over the woman's chest, paralyzed, while her instructor shoved her aside. Now she delivered food to people who didn't look at her twice. The warehouse was wrong from the start. No lights. No security. Just silence and February cold cutting through her cheap jacket. Then she heard the babies crying. 2 infants on cold concrete. 6 months old, maybe 7. Their little faces red and scrunched, tiny hands pale from cold. And next to them, a man in a blood-soaked designer suit, slumped against the wall, one arm wrapped protectively around them. Tattoos crawled up his neck. The kind of ink she'd seen on the news. Organized crime. A crashed Mercedes. Bullet holes in the windows. Blood everywhere. Leave. His voice was barely there, rough with pain. The gun in his hand wavered as he lifted it. Or die here. But Zara's hands were already moving. Then they stopped. Mrs. Patterson's face. The parking lot lights. That frozen moment. No. Not again. She pressed down on his shoulder. Blood pulsed between her fingers. Arterial bleeding. Shock setting in. He was minutes from death. You need a hospital. No. The gun steadied. No police. They'll find them. His eyes cut to the babies. They'll find my daughters. How long have they been out here? His eyes closed. 4 hours. Maybe 5. Hypothermia. She had 3 dying patients and nowhere to take them. Her phone buzzed. Job interview reminder, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, 9 a.m. The callback she'd waited 3 months for. Her last shot at getting her life back. Then headlights swept the parking lot. A black SUV, rolling slow. Hunting. The man's eyes snapped open. Run. They're coming back. Every instinct screamed at her to leave. Call 911. Save herself. But those babies were barely breathing. And this man, this dangerous, tattooed stranger, was using his last bit of strength to protect them. Zara scooped up the first baby. Her tiny body was cold, too cold. She ran to her car 50 feet away, the SUV 200 yards out. She laid the baby gently in the back seat, ran back for the second. The little hand grabbed her finger with surprising strength, dark eyes locking onto hers. I've got you, Zara whispered. She dragged the man to her car, 6'2", solid muscle, deadweight. Something hard under his suit. A bulletproof vest. He'd been wearing a vest and still got shot. The SUV's engine grew louder. Her Honda coughed once. Twice. Come on. It started. She floored it, tires squealing. The SUV gave chase, but she knew these streets. Every delivery route, every shortcut. She lost them in 3 turns. Her phone slid off the dashboard and died. Her delivery app, her GPS, her interview, gone. Thank you. His voice cut through her panic. Where do I go? Her hands shook on the wheel. I can't go to a hospital. I can't go home. They know where you live. His words made her blood freeze. They know everything about you. What? I just found you. The delivery order. The $100 tip. Each word cost him. That was never for sushi, Zara Williams. Her app. Her name. Her photo. Her car. They'd tracked her like bait to a trap. Call the first contact in my phone, he said. Tell them I'm with the guardian angel. She grabbed his burner phone with blood-stained hands. 6 contacts, all numbers. A woman answered in Korean, then switched. English. Who is this? He's shot. The babies are. Are they breathing? Yes, but they're hypothermic. 847, Cascade Road. Blue door. 15 minutes. Don't stop for anyone. Not even police. A pause. He chose you for a reason. Don't let him down. The line went dead. Behind her, one baby whimpered. Beside her, the man's breathing went shallow. Zara looked at her dark phone. At the interview she'd never confirm. At the life slipping away. Call the police. Go to a hospital. Save yourself. But she thought of Mrs. Patterson. Of the moment she'd frozen. Of 18 months spent invisible and worthless. This time, her hands had moved. This time, she hadn't frozen. Okay, she whispered. She pressed the gas. 8 miles to Cascade Road. 13 minutes. And somewhere in the Atlanta night, the people who'd tried to kill them were hunting. Zara Williams had spent 18 months barely surviving, delivering food to people who didn't see her. Now 3 lives depended on her. She had no idea if she was saving them or leading them all to their deaths. But this time she was all in. Getting him up 4 flights of stairs nearly killed them both. Zara half-carried, half-dragged him while clutching both baby carriers, pausing every few steps when his knees buckled. Mrs. Patterson from 2B cracked her door open, took one look at the blood, and closed it again without a word. Zara had never been more grateful for her building's culture of willful blindness. Her efficiency apartment was a tomb, 400 square feet of peeling paint and broken dreams. She kicked aside delivery bags and EMT textbooks she couldn't bear to throw away, then lowered him onto her futon. The springs groaned under his weight. I need supplies, she muttered, digging through the box under her bed. Stolen gauze. Expired surgical thread. The bottle of Tito's vodka she'd been saving for rock bottom. She laid everything out with shaking hands while the twins screamed themselves hoarse in their carriers. This is going to hurt. She cut away his ruined suit jacket, revealing a torso covered in intricate tattoos. Not just art, but numbers, coordinates, symbols. A living ledger inked into flesh. Bite down. She shoved her leather belt between his teeth. The first bullet came out with a wet sound that made her stomach heave. He didn't scream, just went rigid, every muscle locked in agony. The second bullet was deeper. Her hands were slick with blood by the third. They hacked your app, he gasped when she finally tied off the last stitch. Made you the witness. The civilian who'd take the blame. Who's they? My organization. Someone inside. His eyes found hers, dark and burning. Take my wallet. There's cash. Disappear. Zara looked at the twins, finally quiet, exhausted. Looked at this dying man who'd killed to protect them. Looked at her hands, covered in his blood. She'd spent 18 months running from failure. From the moment she froze. From the guilt drowning her. No, she said quietly. These babies need me. I'm staying. For better or worse, she was in this now. 4 days passed in a strange, suspended reality. Zara changed Kai's bandages at dawn and dusk while he fixed her broken AC unit with one functional arm. Small mercies traded in silence. They fell into rhythms born of necessity, her medical training, his reluctant gratitude, the twins' constant needs binding them together. When formula ran out, Zara ventured to Kroger at 4 a.m. An elegant Asian woman in a tailored coat appeared beside her in the baby aisle, paid for everything with a black card, smiled knowingly, and vanished before Zara could speak. The hair on her neck stood up. She returned to find a Honda Civic idling across the street, two men inside, engines running, eyes fixed on her building. Markers, Kai said grimly when she told him. They're tagging our location. We have ours. Maybe less. Then Mia started seizing. Her small body went rigid in Zara's arms, eyes rolling back, foam bubbling from her tiny mouth. Seconds later, Leah followed, violent convulsions that made her carrier shake. The formula, Kai choked out. They poisoned it. Zara's EMT training exploded into action. She grabbed aquarium tubing from her old fish tank, a turkey baster from the kitchen drawer. Her hands moved with mechanical precision while her mind screamed. Hold them. Her voice was steel. Don't let them choke. She worked on both babies simultaneously, inserting tubing, flushing their tiny stomachs with saline, suctioning out the poisoned formula. Kai held them down with his good arm, tears streaming down his face for the first time, his control finally shattered. The baby's convulsions slowed. Stopped. Their breathing evened out. Zara collapsed against the wall, hands shaking violently. Dawn light crept through the window, painting everything gold. Kai stared at her like she'd performed a miracle. Without you, they die. Without them, nothing I've built matters. Zara looked at the sleeping twins, at this broken man, at her blood-stained hands. She wasn't just saving them. They were saving her too, from 18 months of paralysis, from the weight of failure, from the suffocating belief that she was worthless. They fled in Kai's backup Honda, nondescript, anonymous, kept for exactly this kind of emergency. Zara drove while Kai navigated through gritted teeth, the twins mercifully asleep in the back. Then the motorcycles appeared in her rearview mirror. Black SUVs. An unmarked cop car weaving through traffic with predatory precision. They found us, Kai said flatly. Zara's mind raced. Only one place left. My cousin Shanice. Decatur. She'll help. 20 minutes of white-knuckle driving brought them to a modest apartment complex. Shanice opened the door, saw Zara's face, and went pale as death. No. No, Zara, you can't be here. Shanice, please. I need help. Her cousin's face crumpled, tears spilling over. Vincent Chun came to me 3 weeks ago. Paid off my gambling debts. $47,000. All he wanted was information about you. Where you lived, your routes, your schedule. Her voice broke. He said he just wanted to protect you from something dangerous. I swear, Z, I didn't know he wanted you dead. I thought I was keeping you safe. Kai's gun appeared instantly, barrel pressed to Shanice's temple. No. Zara threw herself between them. She didn't know. Glass shattered. The door exploded inward. Men in black tactical gear flooded the apartment. Shanice moved before Zara could scream, shoving her cousin behind her body. 3 bullets punched through Shanice's chest in rapid succession. She crumpled into Zara's arms, blood spreading across her shirt like spilled wine. The babies, Shanice whispered, blood flecking her lips. Vincent's terrified of them. They're legitimate heirs. You're protecting the future queens, Z. Don't let him win. The light left her eyes. Zara held her cousin's body while Kai returned fire, dragging them toward the back exit. Smoke. Screaming. The twins wailing. She'd chosen them. chosen these babies and this dangerous man over her own blood. There was no going back now. Only forward, through fire and blood. The motel off I-285 was exactly what desperation looked like. Peeling wallpaper, stains nobody wanted identified, cash only. Zara cleaned Kai's reopened wounds with shaking hands, hyper-aware of how close they were, how his breath caught when her fingers traced his ribs. "You didn't have to stay," he said quietly. "I know." Their eyes met. Held. The air between them charged with something dangerous, something neither could name. He leaned forward. She didn't pull back. The door exploded with violent pounding. Kai's gun appeared instantly. Zara grabbed the twins' carriers, heart hammering. "Kai, I know you're in there." A woman's voice. Familiar to him, stranger to Zara. "Open the door before I call my FBI handler." Kai went white. "That's impossible. She's dead." He opened the door to reveal an elegant Korean woman in designer clothes, Soo-jin, his supposedly dead wife. Very much alive. "I faked the car accident 3 years ago," she said, walking past him like she owned the room. "Your organization was becoming something I couldn't stomach. I've been building a federal case ever since." Her eyes found the twins, widened with shock. "You had children. With someone else." "After you left," Kai said coldly. "Turn yourself in," Soo-jin pleaded. "Cooperate. Save your daughters from this life before it destroys them." "Never." Soo-jin reached for her phone. "Then I'm calling." Zara moved without thinking. She tackled Soo-jin, disarmed her with techniques from EMT self-defense training, and zip-tied her wrists to the bathroom radiator with practiced efficiency that surprised everyone, including herself. "Those babies need their father alive," Zara said, steel in her voice she didn't recognize. "Not rotting in federal prison." Then she saw it, blood seeping through Leah's onesie. A grazing wound from the apartment chaos, now bleeding freely. Soo-jin saw the babies, really saw them, and broke. "I'm O-negative. Universal donor. Take my blood." Zara met her eyes, saw complicated humanity there. Nodded once. 3 people who should be enemies, bound by blood and impossible choices. Tommy Park's call came at 3 a.m., his voice tight with fear. "Boss, the council meets in 24 hours. If you don't show, they declare you dead and carve up your territory. Vincent's already making moves." A pause. "There's a $2 million bounty. Every killer on the East Coast is hunting you. You've got 8 hours, maybe less." Kai ended the call and turned to Zara, his face carved from stone. "Take the twins. I have offshore accounts, codes, passwords, everything you need. Drive to Canada. Disappear. Start over." "No. Zara. I didn't save your life 3 times to watch you throw it away on some martyrdom bullshit." Fury burned through her exhaustion. "We end this together or not at all." Something shifted in his eyes. Not surrender, recognition. They left the twins with Mrs. Patterson, who took one look at the babies and nodded. "Baby, I've seen worse in my 70 years. Go do what you gotta do." The underground gambling den was downtown, hidden beneath a renovated historic building. Zara drove with Kai in the passenger seat, bound Soo-jin in the back. 3 people with nothing in common except survival. They never made it inside. The parking garage erupted with violence. Dozens of men materialized from shadows. Vincent's soldiers surrounding them, trapping them against concrete pillars. Headlights blazed from every direction, blinding. Guns everywhere. Kai was too wounded to fight at full strength. The twins were still weak, hidden with Mrs. Patterson, but vulnerable. Vincent stepped from the shadows, smiling like a shark. "Did you really think you'd make it to the council?" He raised his gun. You're already dead, Kai. The only question is whether your delivery girl dies with you. Zara looked at Kai, at Sujin, at the impossible odds surrounding them. Surrender and buy time. Or trust they could fight through together. She made her choice. Not today, Zara said, and reached for the gun Kai had given her. Zara's finger found the trigger just as Vincent's men opened fire. The parking garage exploded into chaos. Muzzle flashes lighting concrete pillars like lightning, bullets sparking off metal, the deafening percussion of gunfire echoing until her ears rang. Kai shoved her behind a pillar, returning fire with his good arm. Sujin, still zip-tied, screamed something Zara couldn't hear over the violence. They were pinned down, surrounded, outgunned 20-1. Then Zara's phone buzzed in her pocket. Once. Twice. A text from Mrs. Patterson's number, but the words made her blood turn to ice. They found us. Men with guns. The babies. The message cut off. Zara's world stopped. Everything, the bullets, the blood, Vincent's approaching footsteps, faded to white noise. She looked at Kai, saw the exact moment he understood. Mia and Leah. Alone with an elderly woman. Vincent's backup team. It was never about killing you here, Vincent called out, his voice echoing through the garage. It was about making you choose. Die with some dignity, or watch me send your daughter's bodies to you piece by piece. Kai's gun hand trembled. For the first time since Zara had met him, she saw something in his eyes that looked like defeat. We can't save them from here, he whispered. We're trapped. Zara looked at the soldiers closing in. Looked at her phone screen showing Mrs. Patterson's incomplete message. Looked at Kai, this man she'd saved 3 times, who was finally out of miracles. Then she heard it, distant at first, but growing louder. Engines. Multiple vehicles approaching fast, tires squealing on the garage entrance ramp. Vincent heard it too. His smile faltered. The vehicles screeched to a halt at the garage entrance, and a woman's voice rang out, powerful, commanding, unmistakably Southern. Vincent Chun, you picked the wrong neighborhood to start a war in. Zara turned to see a black woman in her 60s step from a Cadillac Escalade, flanked by 24 armed soldiers wearing street clothes. The woman's eyes found Zara's across the garage, and she smiled. Mama Thorne sends her regards, baby girl. Now let's go get those babies. Vincent's face went white, and Zara realized with sudden desperate hope, they might actually survive this. What started as a $100 delivery order became a fight for survival that would change Atlanta's underworld forever. Zara Williams went from invisible delivery driver to the woman who saved a crime lord's life, and his twin daughters. But saving them was just the beginning. With Mama Thorne's unexpected alliance, they now have a chance. A slim one. Vincent's forces are closing in from every direction. The twins are in mortal danger. And the Syndicate Council waits in that underground gambling den, ready to carve up Kai's empire the moment he fails to appear. Zara has 8 hours to save 2 babies, survive a war she never asked for, and prove she's not the failure she's believed herself to be for 18 months. She's faced poisoned formula, family betrayal, and impossible odds. Now comes the hardest part, claiming power in a world that was never meant to include her. The real war is just beginning. Will Zara save the twins before Vincent's killers reach them? Can she and Kai survive long enough to face the council? And what price will she pay for choosing this dangerous new family over the life she knew? Find out in Part 2, where allies become enemies, impossible choices demand everything, and a delivery driver becomes a queen. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss Part 2. Drop a comment telling me, would you have saved Kai, or would you have run? I love hearing from you. Until next time, stay fierce. Stay hungry. And remember, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is refuse to stay small.